Meet Eleanor, a 73-year-old woman who values her independence but struggles with restless nights. Tossing and turning left her feeling drained during the day, making it harder to enjoy the things she loved. Determined to find a solution, she discovered simple tactics that transformed her sleep. If you've ever felt the same, this guide is for you. Today, we'll explore 5 proven strategies to help you achieve better rest, boost your energy, and wake up ready to embrace each day. 1. Eleanor often found herself lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, unable to quiet her mind. She remembered the days when she could fall asleep almost instantly. But now, her racing thoughts about errands, family, and daily tasks kept her awake. Frustrated, she realized she needed to change her nightly routine. She started by setting aside 30 minutes before bed to relax and unwind. Instead of watching the nightly news or scrolling on her tablet, she opted for a calming activity, reading a light book or listening to soft music. If this resonates with you, consider creating a bedtime ritual. Avoid screens at least an hour before bed, since the blue light can interfere with your natural sleep cycle. Choose activities that help you relax, like journaling your thoughts or doing gentle stretches. Even sipping on a warm herbal tea can help signal to your body that it's time to wind down. For Eleanor, this simple shift made a noticeable difference. Within a week, she felt her evenings becoming less stressful, and her body started to associate her bedtime routine with rest. She began to drift off more easily, realizing that preparing her mind for sleep was just as important as preparing her body. 2. Another challenge Eleanor faced was her inconsistent sleep schedule. Some nights she stayed up late reading, while other nights she went to bed early out of exhaustion. The result was unpredictable wake-up times, leaving her feeling groggy and disoriented. After speaking with her doctor, she decided to commit to a consistent sleep schedule, going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, even on weekends. If you've experienced similar struggles, try setting an alarm not just for waking up, but also for going to bed. Keep your bedroom dark, quiet, and cool to promote better rest. Invest in blackout curtains or a white noise machine if outside disturbances are an issue. Consistency is key. It helps regulate your body's internal clock and improves the quality of your sleep. Eleanor was surprised by how quickly her body adjusted to the new routine. By sticking to her schedule, she began waking up naturally without an alarm. The foggy mornings she once dreaded became a thing of the past, replaced by a steady rhythm that gave her more energy throughout the day. 3. Eleanor also realized that her daytime habits were affecting her sleep. She had a habit of taking long naps in the afternoon whenever she felt tired, but those naps often made it harder for her to fall asleep at night. She decided to limit her naps to 20 minutes earlier in the day to avoid disrupting her sleep cycle. If you often nap during the day, keep them short and earlier in the afternoon to avoid interfering with nighttime sleep. Instead of reaching for caffeine when you feel sluggish, try taking a brisk walk or spending a few minutes outdoors. Natural sunlight can help reset your internal clock and boost your energy. These small adjustments helped Eleanor feel more refreshed and focused during the day. She noticed she no longer needed long naps to recharge and was able to maintain her energy levels through simple changes. Her nights became more restful, and she felt more in control of her sleep patterns. Eleanor's journey toward better rest wasn't about making drastic changes, but about taking small, intentional steps. Each adjustment brought her closer to the peaceful, restorative sleep she had been longing for. As she began to see improvements, she felt encouraged to continue exploring other ways to support her well-being. 4. Eleanor often woke up in the middle of the night and struggled to fall back asleep. The stillness of the house seemed louder than ever, and her mind raced with thoughts she couldn't shake. She would lie awake, feeling frustrated and defeated. One night, instead of tossing and turning, she decided to try something different. She got out of bed, dimmed the lights, and read a few pages of her favorite novel. The gentle activity helped calm her mind, and soon enough, she felt sleepy again. If you find yourself waking up during the night, avoid staying in bed and forcing yourself to fall asleep. Instead, try getting up and engaging in a calming activity, like reading or listening to soft music. Avoid checking your phone or watching TV, as the blue light can make it harder to fall back asleep. Keep the lights dim to signal to your body that it's still nighttime. Eleanor learned that these moments didn't have to derail her entire night. By changing how she reacted to wakefulness, she reclaimed control and felt less anxious about interrupted sleep. Over time, these instances became less frequent, and her nights grew more peaceful. 5. Eleanor also began to notice that her evenings often felt rushed and hectic. After dinner, she would dive straight into chores or finish up tasks she hadn't completed during the day. By the time she got to bed, her mind was still buzzing with activity, making it nearly impossible to relax. One evening, she decided to approach things differently. Instead of jumping into a list of to-dos, she allowed herself to enjoy a quiet moment after dinner, a cup of chamomile tea while sitting by the window. If your evenings feel chaotic, try setting aside time to unwind before bed. Create a calming routine, like sipping herbal tea, taking a warm bath, or practicing gentle yoga stretches. Avoid heavy meals or intense physical activity late at night, as these can make it harder for your body to relax. Eleanor found that prioritizing calm evenings not only improved her sleep, but also made her days more enjoyable. The anticipation of her quiet routine became something she looked forward to, helping her transition from the day's busyness to the restful night ahead. 6. Another adjustment Eleanor made was addressing the lighting in her home. She realized her bedroom wasn't as dark as it should be for optimal sleep. Street lights outside her window and a small nightlight in the hallway created just enough illumination to disrupt her rest. After doing some research, she decided to make a few changes. She installed blackout curtains to block outside light and replaced the hallway nightlight with a motion sensor option that only activated when needed. If light is interfering with your sleep, consider blackout curtains, sleep masks, or repositioning lamps that may cast light into your room. Ensure that electronic devices, like alarm clocks or charging phones, are not emitting light in your sleeping area. Even small changes can make a big difference in creating a restful environment. Eleanor was amazed at how much deeper her sleep became after making her room as dark as possible. She woke up feeling more refreshed and realized how important the sleeping environment was to her overall rest. These small adjustments created a sanctuary for sleep, making her nights more restorative. As Eleanor continued to refine her approach, she felt her energy levels and mood improve dramatically. The changes she made didn't require drastic efforts, just small, thoughtful steps that added up to meaningful improvements. Each positive change encouraged her to keep exploring ways to make her nights and her days better. 7. Eleanor started to notice that her diet might be affecting her sleep. After particularly heavy dinners or indulging in sugary desserts before bed, she found herself restless and unable to settle down. One evening, after a large pasta meal and a slice of cake, she tossed and turned for hours. Frustrated, she began to research how food choices could impact sleep. With some trial and error, she made a few changes, such as eating lighter dinners and avoiding sweets late in the evening. If you've had similar struggles, try opting for a smaller, well-balanced dinner that includes lean proteins, whole grains, and plenty of vegetables. Avoid caffeine and sugary treats at least 4 to 6 hours before bedtime. Instead, consider a small snack, like a handful of nuts or a banana, both of which contain sleep-friendly nutrients. Eleanor was pleasantly surprised by how much better she slept after adjusting her evening meals. Her nights felt calmer, and she woke up without the sluggishness she'd felt before. These small dietary changes had a big impact, making her more mindful of how her food choices affected her overall well-being. 8. Another issue Eleanor discovered was her exposure to noise during the night. Her neighborhood, typically quiet during the day, would come alive with distant train whistles or the occasional barking dog after sunset. These unexpected sounds would jolt her awake, leaving her frustrated and tense. Determined to fix this, Eleanor experimented with ways to reduce the impact of nighttime noise. If noise is a problem for you, try using a white noise machine or a soothing app that plays calming sounds like rain or ocean waves. Earplugs are another effective option, especially if you're a light sleeper. For persistent noise, consider rearranging your bedroom so that your bed is further away from windows or shared walls. After implementing these changes, Eleanor noticed a significant improvement in her sleep. The white noise machine became a staple in her bedroom, providing a consistent, soothing background that masked disruptions. She felt less anxious about being startled awake and started to enjoy a more consistent rest. 9. Eleanor also realized that her bedroom temperature could be affecting her comfort at night. On colder evenings, she piled on blankets, only to wake up overheated and uncomfortable. On warmer nights, she struggled to find the right balance, often waking up sweaty or chilly. After consulting her doctor, she learned that maintaining a cool and consistent room temperature was essential for quality sleep. If temperature affects your rest, aim to keep your bedroom between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit, which is considered ideal for sleeping. Use breathable bedding made from natural materials like cotton or linen, and layer blankets so you can adjust as needed. For warm nights, a fan or a cooling mattress pad can make a big difference. Eleanor found that regulating her bedroom temperature transformed her sleep experience. She no longer woke up uncomfortable, and her body felt more relaxed throughout the night. The adjustments were simple but effective, giving her the restful environment she needed to recharge. These changes not only improved Eleanor's nights, but also her days. By addressing diet, noise, and temperature, she created a space that supported her rest and allowed her to wake up refreshed and ready for the day ahead. Each improvement brought her one step closer to the restful nights she had been dreaming of. 10. Eleanor realized she often felt overwhelmed by her thoughts at night. She would lie in bed replaying conversations, worrying about upcoming appointments, or making mental to-do lists. This mental chatter kept her awake, leaving her exhausted by morning. One evening, she decided to try journaling before bed. Sitting with her notebook, she wrote down her worries and plans for the next day. To her surprise, it felt like a weight had been lifted, and her mind was quieter when she finally went to bed. If your thoughts keep you up at night, consider setting aside time to journal before bedtime. Write down your concerns, tasks, or anything that feels unresolved. Some people find it helpful to include a gratitude list, focusing on 3 positive things from their day. This simple practice can create a sense of closure and peace before sleep. Eleanor found that journaling became a calming ritual, helping her clear her mind and ease into rest. The act of putting her thoughts on paper gave her a sense of control and reassurance, making her nights less stressful and more restorative. 11. Eleanor also discovered that her physical activity during the day played a big role in how well she slept. On days when she didn't move much, she noticed her body felt restless at night, making it harder to settle down. After talking with a friend, she decided to add a short walk to her daily routine. Starting with just 15 minutes in the morning, she quickly found that even this small amount of movement helped her sleep better. If you've noticed the same pattern, try incorporating gentle exercise into your day. A morning walk, some light stretching, or even gardening can be effective. Aim for at least 30 minutes of physical activity, but it doesn't have to be intense. A steady pace is enough to make a difference. Avoid vigorous exercise in the evening, as it can leave your body too energized for sleep. Eleanor's commitment to daily movement didn't just improve her sleep, it also boosted her mood and energy levels. She looked forward to her morning walks, enjoying the fresh air and the sense of accomplishment they brought. Her body felt more in sync with her natural sleep cycle, making rest come more easily. 12. Eleanor started paying attention to how much natural light she was exposed to during the day. She noticed that on gloomy days, or when she spent too much time indoors, she felt more tired but struggled to sleep at night. After reading about the connection between light exposure and sleep, she made a conscious effort to spend more time outdoors in the morning and early afternoon. If you're experiencing something similar, try getting outside for at least 15 to 30 minutes each morning. Natural light helps regulate your body's internal clock, signaling to your brain that it's time to be awake. On days when going outside isn't an option, sit by a bright window or use a light therapy lamp designed to mimic natural sunlight. Eleanor's simple adjustment made a noticeable difference. The extra sunlight helped her feel more awake during the day and better prepared for sleep at night. She felt more in tune with her surroundings, and her sleep patterns became more consistent. These practices helped Eleanor find a rhythm that supported her physical and mental well-being. Journaling eased her mind, movement energized her body, and light exposure brought her days and nights into balance. Each change brought her closer to the restful, rejuvenating sleep she had been seeking. 13. Eleanor had noticed that stress from her day often carried over into the night, making it harder for her to relax and fall asleep. One evening, after a particularly tense phone call, she felt wound up even as bedtime approached. Instead of trying to sleep immediately, she decided to try something she had read about: deep breathing exercises. She sat on the edge of her bed, closed her eyes, and inhaled deeply for 4 counts, held her breath for 4 counts, and exhaled slowly for 6 counts. Within minutes, her body began to relax and the tension eased. If stress keeps you up at night, try incorporating relaxation techniques like deep breathing, progressive muscle relaxation, or guided meditation into your routine. There are apps and videos designed to walk you through these exercises, making it easy to get started. Dedicate just 5 to 10 minutes to calming your mind and body before bed. Eleanor quickly became a fan of this approach. It gave her a tool to unwind after stressful moments, helping her feel more in control of her emotions. She found that these calming techniques didn't just improve her sleep, they also helped her manage stress throughout the day. 14. As Eleanor's rest improved, she began to notice another issue: the quality of her mattress and pillows. She had been sleeping on the same mattress for years, and her pillows had lost their shape and support. One night, after waking up with a stiff neck and aching back, she decided it was time to invest in her sleep environment. A visit to a local store helped her find a mattress that suited her needs, along with supportive pillows designed for her sleeping position. If your bed doesn't feel as comfortable as it used to, consider upgrading your mattress or pillows. Look for options that match your preferred sleeping position. Side sleepers, for instance, benefit from firmer pillows that keep the neck aligned. Don't forget about mattress toppers or breathable sheets to enhance comfort. Eleanor was amazed at how much better she felt after making these changes. Her aches and pains diminished, and she found herself falling asleep faster and staying asleep longer. It was a reminder that the right sleep setup could make a world of difference. 15. The final piece of Eleanor's journey involved setting boundaries with her time and energy. She realized that saying yes to every invitation or request often left her feeling drained and frazzled. This constant busyness made it difficult for her to unwind at the end of the day. One afternoon, while reflecting on her priorities, she decided to focus on what truly mattered to her. She began politely declining activities that didn't align with her goals and made space for the rest she needed. If you feel overcommitted, practice setting boundaries to protect your energy. Start by prioritizing activities that bring you joy and fulfillment, and don't be afraid to decline requests that feel overwhelming. It's okay to schedule downtime and treat it as a non-negotiable part of your day. Eleanor found that this shift not only improved her sleep, but also brought a sense of balance to her life. She felt more in tune with her needs and realized that taking care of herself wasn't selfish. It was necessary. The time she carved out for herself became a source of peace and renewal, enhancing every aspect of her life. Eleanor's journey was one of small, intentional steps. By addressing stress, upgrading her sleep environment, and creating balance in her life, she achieved the deep, restorative rest she had been longing for. Each change built on the last, helping her create a life that felt both fulfilling and peaceful. Her story serves as a reminder that it's never too late to take control of your rest and your well-being. Eleanor's transformation proves that restful sleep is within reach, no matter where you start. By embracing small changes, she turned restless nights into peaceful ones and regained her energy and joy. Now it's your turn. Start with one tip today and take charge of your well-being. You deserve it.